All right, hello. Here we are back again.
Hello. The
Yes.
ladies are back.
So we're reviewing 1 and 2 of the Braxtons. And
Yes.
so we're going to do it. Do you want to just go by each cast member?
Well, I'll do my notes because I kind of got it kind of going in order. You know, like bringing our phone to the from one to the next.
Okay.
Episode. But let's start with so we're reviewing episodes 1 and 2 together. This is the beginning of season 2. What are we thinking overall? Let's go ahead and put both episodes and rate what we are thinking of the season thus far with the 2 episodes that we have. What are you gonna rate that?
I don't know. 6. 6. I don't know. I mean, I would say, well, I don't know, maybe 7. I feel like, it's a good watch. Anyways, it's a good watch.
I think 7 is fair.
So yeah, I think so.
Maybe even 6-ish.
So
yeah, I think about a 6-ish is fair. You know, just because we just getting more of their family drama. I don't know if that's what we started off with wanting to see from the Braxtons, which is funny. I want. Well, it may have had to do with their contracts and however way they ended coming back on the network. Maybe why they couldn't use Braxton family values anymore. But at the same time, because of all of these things that have come out at this point, and even leading up to this point, going back to Braxton family values, I don't know if that would have been appropriate to use anyway, you know. So, so I say about a 6. I think I'm gonna rate it at a 6. You know, like I think I feel like I'm just invested in them just in general, and so you know, like it's no real bombshells going on, and it appears that they do a very short filming. So I think that they kind of draw us out a little bit with some of the shenanigans. Yeah. And even since they come back as the Braxtons, it does. I mean, I guess they just can't help it though. But it does seem like they are like monopolizing off of the other people's drama more than
their own drama. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, hey. But we watching.
Yeah, we are.
Let me know in the comments. Let us know in the comments. What are you thinking about the Braxtons season 2 thus far? But let's go ahead and get into the review. We're gonna go from episode 1 into episode 2. And so episode 1 opens up. We see the sisters arriving separately at a restaurant. Look like they're gonna have a ponderosa. And what's her name? What's the lady name? Jackie, right, from Basketball Wives. You know, she likes to call the roundup the ponderosa at the round table. And they show us the different clips of the sisters kind of saying what their expectations are for the season. Going into the season, Tamar expresses that she is glad to be a full-time member and not just a friend to the show. Yes. We are glad for you to be that also, Tamar, but I wonder if that was your own doing while you're trying to throw them under the bus that way. As if you need to do anything that throws them under the bus. That's what's funny about her. So they also started to describe some of the issues that they're having with the fact that Tamar has decided to bring their niece Ashley onto her podcast. And we knew that was happening in real time because Ashley did her TikTok and she revealed that there was a situation with one of the sisters' husbands that he sent some inappropriate texts. Her dad and mom found out, the auntie found out, but yet it sounds like nobody really did anything about it. And at this point, that was 16 years ago. So at this point, she felt the need to heal after losing her younger sister, unexpectedly. She kind of says that she recognizes how final death is and how fast life goes, and that she wanted to heal. And that's why, we'll get to that. That's another time. So we also find out in that first clip that Tamar was assessed as deceased. So what I was explaining is we knew that she was going to have Denise on the podcast, and since then Tamar has released episodes on her podcast. I don't think she's done any in quite some time at this point, but I know she had Trina on. Anyway, we never did get to see Ashley, and we didn't have an explanation from that until now. Now we see that she was sent a cease and desist, and which she is upset with the sisters about that because it's her belief that that came from her sister. So let's stop there and see, what do we think about that opening scene?
Well, the opening scene where, you know, where they're at the table and everything and discussing everything. I think, you know, Tamar may have a right to be a little upset about the cease and desist, but this whole thing to me is very, like you say, sticky. And I did watch the girl live last year or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And just to be honest, from what I understood, it was a flirting back and forth. He's married to the auntie, was gay, and from what I'm seeing on TV, did they have a conversation, her and the auntie, or was it just like, okay, I'm sorry this happened, and then I don't know.
I think that's what none of us are clear about. We're not clear on when I say the context of the text, meaning we don't know what conversation was had, right? But I think everybody, and I was about to say everybody seemed to agree that they're inappropriate, but at least Ashley and her parents seemed to agree that they were inappropriate. Whether anybody else seemed to agree with that or not. Mm-hmm. And also, I think the cease and desist may have come from the dad.
Yes, he did. He did that to the daughter.
Okay, to the daughter. Okay, so he may have been the one to send that to Tamar as well. However, in that same thing, we see in the clip of Tamar telling Tony that she saw their names or something. So, you know, that's kind of up in the air, but we do span. So that's that opening thing, which we are only left to assume that is the way the season will end.
Yes.
Is with the sisters having that conversation, and we'll get to see that all play out, at least to whatever entirety there is. Hey, Miss Keisha, thank you for coming in.
Yeah, because on the live on the live she did last year, she talked about the dad and the stepmom and how she felt mistreated basically by her, or to some, I don't know, but it doesn't seem like the woman did anything physically to her, you know, but it was she felt that
it's interesting because we live in a time where this generation of children have different sets of words, different sets of diagnoses, or, you know, like I feel like Todd, when everybody was calling him the opportunist, like we have narcissism, you know, kind of running off our tongue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in this way, like you say, you know, 10 years ago, nobody knew what it was, right? Like, and now all of a sudden, everybody is one.
Yeah. You're a narcissist.
And so with that, you know, it's kind of like, but at the age that Ashley is at 34. I believe she's either 32 or 34. It's kind of like what I understand being a parent and being a child of, having a mom. It's kind of like, I understand that parents have one perspective and children have one perspective, and it can be, not in that case about whatever she was discussing with the mom and the dad, it could really just be coming from a perspective of the child. You are a grown adult, but just like with you not having your own children, I don't know if you even able to see a parent's point of view until you have your own family and children, and then maybe, depending on what it is you were even describing, because like you said, like you didn't feel like you heard anything that was, so like abusive, let's say that, because we know there's some things you can hear and you like, oh no, that's dead wrong. But then there's some things that happen, and as parents, we all understand what's happening, right? Mm-hmm. But children may not, and like I say, she's an adult, but she still is coming from a child's perspective as an adult, So I that's the grace that I give her and look at it in both aspects, in that way. Yeah. So the next scene next kind of scene we're going to talk about, we spent 3 weeks earlier. So Tamar is meeting with Ashley at the restaurant. So she's flown Ashley out from Europe to come and be able to film the podcast. Yeah. During that, she said, wait a minute, I said Tamar is meeting with Ashley at a restaurant about the upcoming podcast and her feelings surrounding the information that she is about to share on this podcast. She's already shared it on TikTok at this point, but coming to Tamar's podcast would be even more exposure, possibly, than what she was able to gain on TikTok. And also let Ashley know that she was really just wanting to offer support. Tamar says that she flew her niece in so that she would know that somebody cared for her. She also says that her decision to have her niece on the podcast is not to be messy with her family. And how do we feel about that? How do you feel about Tamar being the one to have Ashley come and use her podcast as a platform to have Ashley kind of say this officially?
Opportunist, a little bit. I do. A new word that they're using. Yes. I also feel like I don't know. I don't think everything is for public consumption. I don't. And because like, okay, we're on the podcast. Is there some kind of licensed doctor there that's going to give you some help to try to?
I'm not sure if that lady. I feel like that was she's licensed or something, but I'm not sure if she is.
I ain't see doctor by her name, and she says that's Tamar said that's one of her good friends.
Okay. Yeah. So okay. Look, I just was wanting.
She's just equivalent.
She calls herself having someone there that's supposed to be of some healing, aspect. So, I don't know if that's in an official capacity or if that lady has just self-proclaimed herself as that.
Because why James there?
Here's how I looked at it. I'm kind of like Funky Darnese. Pay me for my pain. What I'll say about Ashley going to TikTok, right? And I don't know what her following, I don't know what her status on TikTok was prior to even doing the video, because I'm sure they went viral and she probably collected a lot more followers and things at that point. But here's what I think a lot of people don't realize when it comes to putting something out, making it go viral or having it go viral, and you not being at a level where you're already monetized in any space, right? Because that takes more time. So I wonder if not just being an opportunist on Tamar's end, but I wonder if she was looking out like, well, if you're going to do anything, let's bring you somewhere where there can be some type of recoup for what it is you're doing, as opposed to giving all of this out and, hey, now it's all out and there's nothing. You know what I mean? Like I say, the birds are funky, not even pay me for my pain. And I ain't mad at it, because if you can, go ahead, go ahead. So that's kind of the way I looked at that, in a sense, with Tamar. And here's the other thing. I'm probably going to be taking up for Tamar a lot, only because I do feel bad for the niece to have the feelings, hold the feelings that she holding for her aunt, and I do think that it is important for somebody to step up and to acknowledge, like, even if you don't know the whole truth, or I would think that you believe it in some capacity, but at the same time, it's important for somebody to be there for her and for her to feel like somebody love her, which that's where Tamar is kind of saying that was where her initial having her come in is at. And I feel like Tamar being the youngest, like, we see her act the way she does because she's the youngest. And I think that's kind of the get up and the thing she's been able to get away with. But I also give her this space of being misunderstood, because I feel like she understands just kind of being out there on your own with some hard, with some hard things to have to overcome. And for anybody who's gone through anything that they've had to overcome, it does help to have somebody in your corner, as opposed to kind of feeling isolated and shunned, by your family especially.
But was she really shunned? That's what I'm trying to understand. Because it seems like she...
In the sense of nobody addressed it publicly.
Why would they have to... Okay, address it publicly to us or just to her?
At the point at which you put it out. So, because here we are, right? Now you're filming. Now this is kind of part of this season. And as we get through the rest of the episode, like, it doesn't feel like Trina is really kind of backing her. They're not saying anything to the mom at all, and she's not saying anything at this point. We only at season 2. I guess there will be more said about it, but at the same time, I don't really expect there to be a whole lot more that is said about what Ashley was saying, more so than the sisters taking it out on Tamar that she brought her to have her on that podcast. Like, it seems like the issue and the focus of what the issue is shifted to what it shouldn't be. It should be what the girl is talking about. And that should be addressed. And like I said, and maybe she's not a part of the show, but at this point, here we are. You know what I mean? Like, here we are. I feel that way.
I don't.
But I do agree that some things are not for public consumption. Mm-hmm. But that's all I'm saying is here we are now. Like, it's kind of like the cat out the bag. It's too late. It's too late. In the words of Marvin Gaye, it's too late.
Well, then they should have offered her a contract to be on the show without Tamar bringing her up there. I don't know. I think it, by them being all sisters or whatever, that it should have been, okay, we're all on the show together. Then maybe we should have voted on it. If this is something that we really, and ask Trina how she really feel about it. I think the thing about it is that from what I couldn't understand really what Trina was saying either. Because at first I thought she didn't know. Then she said she did comfort her. She has the same number. She changed hers, the niece. So then she went on to say she was being bullied online. So I'm like, for you to, because we don't know what was said, on any, because on the girls live, I don't know, it kind of seemed like on her live, the way she made it seem like that maybe Trina may have took her husband's side or something, or...
Well, I agree with you that she absolutely feels that way. because I at least
but see, it seems like,
huh?
but it seems like the text, because it wasn't, she's 16, but it seems like the text wasn't like he sent the text to her, and it seems like she was entertaining the text from what she had said. That's the way I comprehend it. I don't know, but that's the way I comprehend it. So when I guess
we live in a climate at this point, in a sense, and it would really suck to try to categorize a 16-year-old in a way to say, what is the difference between knowing what you should be entertaining and not? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you ain't that slow at 16,
well,
y'all. I mean,
that's what I mean. It feels strange to categorize that, but at the same time, I think we've learned that lesson with R. Kelly, for instance, because let's think about R. Kelly. Thank you so much. Because that's kind of in my time frame, right? And I'm from Chicago, being a person who knows my cousins graduated from Kenwood. So I'm saying this to say the information that was being out about R. Kelly was not necessarily false. He did go to that high school. He did go and pick. And what I'm saying is, when we think about the way that girls move then, and the way that and what we know about how they move, like the reason why nobody, I mean, I'm gonna say, of course, you always knew a grown man dealing with somebody in high school is wrong, right? But at the same time, you feel like girls moved in this way where they wanted to date the guy who had the car, the money, and so they're not looking at it in this power thing,
Yeah, but that's your auntie husband.
Talk about entertaining, it's kind of like an adult and a child who has the responsibility.
The adult.
It really is the adult.
True.
Right.
But I will say, if I am a 16, we all have been 16 before. So if I'm the 16-year-old daughter, niece of someone, my auntie husband is sending me some crazy text messages, I'm not entertaining it.
I totally understand that. And that's why I'm saying I wish there was a way for us to know some of the context of what it is. And
I think the text word.
We were talking yesterday about what we were saying about the DMs. Like family member husbands, or friend of a friend, or whatever husband. And they could be saying something as simple as pressure, and then you come back and say, "Oh, thank you," and then he come back and now you in this back and forth. And even as a child, as a young adult, let's say that, because she like a teenager is not maybe a child, but at the same time, they're not in that mental space. But that's why I said it appears that
the text messages, they were sexting each other. That's what they were doing.
Okay.
And that's what. So it wasn't.
I know
it was clear what it was.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot right there. Okay.
So that's what that was. So.
But that's what I said. I'm like, well, from the dad, he seems to have thought that whatever was going on was inappropriate. But to your point, I wonder what her deal was for. So, because I feel like, because she said she took the phone to somebody else ended up saying something about it.
Yeah.
So she had a friend's house and she showed the friend, mama, or something like that. So there was some sense of, I don't know if this is okay or not. And it sounds like I don't know if that's fair to kind of like.
No, because I listened to her live, and it plainly seemed to me, as I comprehended, maybe a younger girl who was kind of maybe had a light crush on someone inappropriately. That's the way I took it, and being that it was her auntie's husband. But yes, of course, he should not have been texting her. But I would say this: if someone texts me, even being 16 or whatever, saying anything out the way to me, I'm definitely, that's the kind of relationship I had with my parents.
But you can always use how you would do.
Well, that's the only thing I can come from is where I'm at.
On other people. So that's what I mean by, like, if she took her phone and showed it to somebody else, even at a point in which you're going back and forth, it feels like she understood that something got uncomfortable.
I thought somebody found her phone. I didn't think she took it to someone.
Well, I'm not sure one way or the other. Like, because again, this is the problem. There's these missing pieces. And then as they're talking about it, nobody's really given the context. You know what that's kind of what I mean. And so I'm saying, like, so you know, maybe she did have a crush on her auntie's husband. You know, she's 16.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but you can't put that responsibility to know what to do if some man is coming to you like that on her. And I feel like that is probably the problem that she's dealing with her aunt. Because it sounds like maybe you're right. Maybe they were sexting each other as plain as that. Her saying the same, responding in the same way that he was approaching her. And so it sounds like Trina saw it that way as well. But I do think that for that to happen to your child, even with her participating, there still should have been some other course of action taken on both ends. Not to be like, well, she did it too, and then you move on about your business. And especially now that you divorced him, now he passed away. I think that's wrong. And that's why I said I feel like I will be taking up for Tamar and a little bit her in that space. Tamar says she doesn't think that Ashley is healed and does not think that her family handled that information properly. I do agree with that. Thank you so much, Cousin Aaliyah. I'm glad to see you, honey. And I agree with that. Do you agree with the course of action that at least has been displayed at this point?
I guess I'm kind of at this point. I'm kind of confused on what was the course of action. That's what I was trying to understand. Right. Did she know, or because it seems like she knew? Because at first, when she was talking to Wanda, it seemed I'm talking about Trina.
Well, we'll get there because we're gonna get that's in the next scene. So let's go there. Trina and Tawanda. They are at Trina's house having a conversation, and Tawanda tells Trina that she's a victim also. She asks her how does she feel about Tamar bringing Ashley on her podcast and everything that's kind of been put out in social media in the public. And she insinuates, or not just insinuates, she tells Trina that, well, you are a victim also. With that being said, that indicates that you consider her some sort of victim in some way. It's to include her as a victim also sounds like y'all all know that whatever happened was wrong.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, do we agree that Trina also is a victim? Because, and I guess the victim part would be Ashley bringing this out now, Gabe not being alive to be able to answer to it in any way, and it's kind of fell in Trina's lap to be the one to handle it.
I feel like she's a victim when it came to being bullied online. Again, I don't know what she did when the information came to her. So I don't know what her response was. Was it, get your fast ass away from my husband? Or was it, oh, I'm so sorry that this happened to you, but still stayed with the man? I don't know. So
it sounds like that.
So
let's think about it this way. How would you handle that if that happened with your husband?
Well, if that would have happened to my husband to be sexting a 16-year-old, there's gonna be a niece.
Now let's not even say something.
I don't have a niece that but
say your niece, yeah.
But if
your brother's, or you know what I mean, your brother's daughter, niece, you know what I mean, like, so how would you handle that if that?
But I don't have none. But if I did, I don't know. I mean, well, my niece is like 10. If first of all, if the information came to me, I'm definitely going to have a talk with me and my brother and him, because we want to know. And then I want to see what was said, and I actually would. First of all, if you interested in a 16-year-old, ain't nothing I can really do with you. So it's time to, because I feel like if I would have been sexting his 16-year-old nephew, he would have an issue and probably went on about his way. And I think that's what would happen, you know. So I can't even, to me, the disrespect, first of all, not that it was a 16-year-old, but it was a 16-year-old, my niece. So we would definitely have to have conversation.
Do you think, I mean, like you say, it's hard to say because it's not something that's happening, but do you think you would divorce him? Because I do feel like maybe, like you said, maybe that is what the expectation of Ashley would have felt. Not for her to, maybe she had some type of outrage at the time, but for her to continue to stay with the guy, like it's icky. It's icky.
It's really icky.
Being a family member to me.
Yeah, I think it's really icky that way. But being that she's 16 and she just don't know about anything of life, and she's happening to be sexing this man back, why would she expect her aunt to leave him? I mean, I think if the aunt is going to stay with him, I think she definitely has to show her compassion and whatever. But I don't know. Maybe because my mama was married at 16. So I almost feel like you about know. I mean, I understand some things you should, being a 16-year-old girl, definitely, because I keep putting myself in it. This baby is messing with my computer, but I keep putting myself in it. That's the only thing I can do is put myself in how I would feel.
I know that you can,
but I've been 16 years old, and my dad friends are trying to talk to me.
A mentality that way, so it would be hard for you to see. You know what I mean? To see how somebody would be in that position. It's no different than the video with Cassie and P. Diddy. Like I would tell, like you had a bunch of people who would say, like, oh, well, why she staying? There's all of these other questions. But like I told a person, the video was very telling, just in the sense of the way she reacted. Like, if somebody did that to you, that way that happened in there, the way you're speaking, same for me. The way that video went down wouldn't be the same. It would be somebody probably fighting back, right? It wouldn't be somebody balled up in the corner, curled up, letting this man kick her. You see? And so that's what I mean in the sense of you, like, I understand where you are. I feel same, but I'm also saying that people get in these situations, and it's really because they don't have that. They don't have that for whatever reason it is. And so even if she participated, right? Again, she's 16. And yeah, that's a child. I don't care if she walking around with her lipstick on and her boobs out. That's still a child when you talking about a grown man. So, and like I said, I don't know if Trina was supposed to leave her husband or not, but I do think that would lead to, because it seems like for her to take the time out and wait 16 years to pull it out, even then, maybe there's confusion about what was supposed to happen in her mind. Because we have that question too, like, well, why did you wait so long? Which we get to that. And so it's like, well, because your mind matures. And now you can see things, and especially today, now you see things in a different light. Even in certain movies, they're showing clips of people on award shows, right? Cameron Diaz, one of the actors, came up and kissed her without her permission. And nobody said boo. Everybody thought that was funny back in 90-something, right? But today, that would be assault. Everybody would see that differently.
Well, sure, yeah. We're in the age of...
You see that differently. So that's why I say, like, I agree with you. Like, I don't think I would participate in it myself. But what happens to the girl who got caught up in that? Is it like, yeah, it feels like blaming her about something that a grown man did or coerce her into. Because he may have known that she would, like what they call it, the grooming thing. He may have known that she would respond, because like you said, well, maybe she had a crush on him or something. She's 16. You go to school and have students messing with the teacher. You go to school and there were teachers I had a crush on when I went to high school. Am I going to give them my phone number? See, I was smart enough to know not to have, inappropriate interactions with them. But yeah, I get with my friends and stuff. We talk about, oh, Mr. Fox. He so, you know what I'm saying? He so this, he so that. Thank you, Aaliyah. I'm just saying, but no, like, am I going to have myself closed off in a room with him, to give him an opportunity to come? Absolutely not. But not everybody is that way. That's why violations occur. You say it's on the man, not the niece. That's what I agree. I do agree. And is Trina a victim also? I feel like that's going far. I feel like that is primarily why Tamar decided to do what she did. Because to your point, maybe there had been a conversation, and the conversation may have sounded like everybody wanted to just say, why are we doing this now? And kind of sweep it under the rug. And Tamar feeling, because she said that she was violated and nobody did anything, they didn't believe her. And I do think that mind frame would have you react differently to somebody else coming to you in a position like that.
Oh, okay, but it seems like
thank you for the popular flavor.
It seems like Tamar didn't really do nothing about it until she did this.
That's true.
That's
true.
That's why it seems like okay.
True. I mean, you're right.
Because what she do 16 years ago?
Well, she said in a confessional, she said she didn't know about it. That kind of, I feel like that would I think that would track. Considering where she was, even where she was when we first met everybody on this reality show, I could see them having something like that and not pulling her into it. I could see her being so wrapped up in her own world that she wasn't even, you know what I mean, like in a place where she paying attention.
So the people who would have possibly been privy to this information would have been the dad, which is the brother, Trina, and Gabe, and the girl.
At the very least, that's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, at the very least. Now, because whoever Trina would talk to, and it probably was Tawanda, because Tawanda, going back to Braxton family values, she's like, the vote comes from Seinfeld, but I don't remember which word she used to describe herself as the secret keeper. But that would be what the vote is, like I'm the vote. Whatever you tell me, it stays with me, And so that is Tawanda's place in that family. She already kind of coined that. So I could see maybe Tawanda knowing something about that just because possibly Trina, confided in her. But going back to the way families handle stuff like that, I very much could see that being something that everybody didn't get information about.
True, yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. Is Trina a victim in Ashley's healing? Trina discusses having to hide her feelings and not knowing how to compartmentalize her feelings about it. And I guess that just kind of is due to not being able to have Gabe answer and feeling like she has to take it on for him. I feel like that's the way the cookie crumbles. I think, I agree. The stuff that goes on social media in the comments, I understand that it could probably get bad and cruel. I don't know that she deserves anything like that, but I do. Calling her a victim, I think it's going too far.
Well, okay, but why should she have to take on all of this and Gabe's dead? And this is not my issue. And if she just said, like she said, I'm sorry this happened to you, is what she said. What else more did this young girl want her to do?
Well, I do think that you're right. I don't think it's hers that she has to take on. Maybe she could just show up, because what Ashley said is that her auntie stopped speaking to her. Now, what Trina said is that her phone number changed. Trina, in that scene, mentioned that, well, my phone number's never changed. Like, her phone number changed. So she indicated that she didn't have a way to get in touch with her. Again, here we are talking about an adult and a child. You know, like, I think if you want, as an adult, if you want to get in touch with somebody, some member of your family that happens to be younger than you in a child's space, then it's probably on you to get there. That's your brother's daughter. She could change her number. You have a way to get to it. I don't know if that's enough. So I do, like, to me, it didn't, from this scene, I don't know how supportive or how she did show up for Ashley. I would question that, because she doesn't appear to be showing up for her in this moment.
Okay. Well, she's with Tamar. But my question is, too, so they used to tour together. So she was touring with them before she got 16? That's what I want to know. Or was it after? Ashley did. She back up sang with them. They showed it in there. So I was wondering if this was before.
I can't say.
I was wondering if that was before or after Gabe. Were they not communicating in that time too? But they were touring together. They all sung back up with Tony.
I don't know about Ashley.
She was there. They showed it in the film.
If she did tour with them, I would think Ashley was older than 16.
That's what I'm kind of wondering. Like, okay, so while they were touring, were they still not communicating, or was there like a one of those type things? Because they showed her in the episode. They showed her on stage with them. So I was just kind of wondering, was this before?
With them where? With Tony?
All of them.
Okay.
All of them were on stage with Tony, singing back up. So I just kind of wondered, like, how old was she? Was this before this all happened, or this?
I missed that altogether. I didn't see.
I done watched it 3 times.
And funny enough, I've never even known that. And I'm gonna say this because prior to Braxton Family Values, I knew who all the sisters were, because I am a Tony fan. And back in the day, when you got the CDs or even the tapes, right? They had the lyrics and everything. So I knew who the sisters were because they were always her backup singers.
Yeah.
But I don't ever remember, seeing. So that's why, if it's something in which they were filming, I like Braxton Family Values, because at a certain point when we get there, Tamar quit, Tawana didn't want to do it no more. So I can see her recruiting somebody else at that point. But yeah, I would think it was after, because Trina stopped also at a certain point, right?
Yeah, because it was Tracy, Ashley, all 4 of them. I don't think Tamar was up there. I didn't remember seeing her, but it's in the episode. They show clips of it because they said, because we used to tour together, and then they showed it. And then they showed it looked like a clip of them. A clip of her, like they were on what do you call that? Like a golf cart, maybe in one of the scenes from the Braxton's Family Values on there too.
So does that make it better?
No, I'm just wondering, was this before or after the fact when she said that they don't speak?
It might be even worse, right? Because we talked about family secrets, and like I said, I can imagine something like that happening. I can imagine having only a minimum amount of people know about it. And how disgusting is it that you would continue to, like, you still got to go to Thanksgiving, Christmas, to all of it, and now work, you know what I mean, and still be in that environment. No wonder the girl get on TikTok and start shouting to anybody because you MFers didn't give a damn,
Well, I'm pretty sure they didn't make her tour. So I'm just trying to figure out, when did this all happen? Did they have a conversation while they were touring? Was Trina treating her cold during the tour. That's why I was trying to figure out what was the timeline in that. Because like I said, what all did she expect for Trina to do? Was Trina actually rude or mean, condescending to her?
I feel like from Trina's, in my opinion, from her response right now on this episode, on this season, I believe she was cold. I believe she did just throw it back. Yeah, I don't think she acknowledged it at all. That's what it looked like to me.
Oh, I didn't catch that. So, but I couldn't understand. I didn't catch that. I just seen a person upset that is out.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I feel like if it was me, I wouldn't have anything to do with the guy. And I feel like I would probably make it my business to always try to make sure that she all right in some way. I don't know. So if she, and the fact that she doesn't feel like she's gotten that, it just indicates that a person didn't do it. To me. Yeah. I mean, some stuff is just as simple as that. Well, I tell people all the time, when something don't make sense, it's because it don't make sense. Ain't no way to make it make sense. You know, like you missing something or whatever. But when it don't make sense, it don't make sense.
No, the whole thing doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense for her to come out and say it on TikTok either.
So Tawanda is engaged. Okay, she is engaged, and she's gonna let us know every time she gets. She is
engaged.
Acting, directing, and also planning a wedding. Okay, we ain't got much to say about that. Did you care about her thing she directed? I really didn't. I'm just glad she found her happy and doing her own thing.
Yeah, she's on what, Prime, Tubi, and Apple TV.
Here's the deal. We're not gonna down it.
No.
Because in a minute you can go on YouTube. YouTube about to do the same thing that Tubi is doing, which is smart. And here's what I'll give them. Like, I know we do make fun of some of the Tubi movies. I do as well. But just to look at it on the big side of things, it gives creators an opportunity.
Yes, because my little cousin did it.
And not just get them out, but to actually be seen.
Yeah.
So big ups to Tubi. And big ups to anybody able to get their stuff on Tubi.
Yes, that's what my little cousin does. He has several movies on Tubi.
You're doing better than some people.
Yeah.
You're doing better than some. Okay, so we go with Tamar. Tamar is getting a liquid BBL, honey, to go with her new tatas. She had to get about 28 needles pumped up in her. She almost skipped out, but she went on and had that done. There's not much to discuss into that. What did you think about her getting a liquid BBL? I felt like I saw it plump up a little bit. It was like, dang, you had your booty as soon as you walked out of there?
I don't know, because when she on the purple, I couldn't really tell. Mm-hmm. So she did it modestly. It wasn't something that was going to be.
Well, that's how it should be.
Yeah, exactly. I just didn't.
Thank God.
It just didn't look like she had too much done. I couldn't see it in that purple. But her breasts look nice. Her breasts really look nice.
They do, honey. I was like, shoot, honey, I need to go get this.
But I could have never laid on that table for the injections.
I don't know if I could either. Yeah, I'm like, I need to go get me some. Like, is that what you teach?
Yeah, I used to work with a girl that had hers done, got a lift done. It looked nice. I said, oh, okay.
I did work with one look, and I touched them too. Like, can I touch them? Okay, I noticed Miss Evelyn is not addressing any of these things going on with the niece and her allegations. I guess I don't know if that's good or bad. She meets with Trina. Her and Trina discussed Tawanda's wedding. It was just a little fluff scene. What did you think about that?
Trina's a realtor. Who knew?
Okay, she had to let the bar go.
And I don't know what. Never mind. I'm gonna keep it to myself. But yeah.
Well, Tony is still working as usual, right? Because every time we've been seeing Tony from the beginning, she working, honey. Still got her health issues that she needs to keep an eye on. And then we see her meeting about trying to get into some sort of directing as well. I know that's how I felt about it too, girl. But, for me, listen, we actually could have this show without Tony. And I've always felt that way from the beginning. I know Tony is the Braxton, you know what I mean? But Tony always seemed to treat them like they the lower level to me.
Girl, but this whole creativity thing was the lower level. I'm like, God dang, this is the best you can come up with? I would have never had a meeting with somebody about me playing a guy that's playing me.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. I was like, what? And you gotta pretend to be a boy, like, but you pretending to be a boy that's pretending to be you. A
girl, Tony, who told you that sounds good?
Yeah, I didn't understand that at all.
I didn't either.
I agree with you about that.
I'm like, okay, you could have came up with something better. So
she always been that way to me, though. That's why I said we actually could have this show without her at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so we going into the second episode because we come back to that second episode. It kind of opens back with another clip of the Ponderosa with the sisters. Tamar says that we found out in her confessional that she had been asked to be the maid of honor for Tawanda's wedding, and it had been rescinded. She accepted, sent her a video, and then she said she ain't heard no more about nothing. Next thing you know, she was getting an invite to come to Tulum, and she felt like looked like she was in her feelings about it because she wasn't part of planning. She didn't know what was going on about it. So they kind of showed a clip of them discussing that. She said she'd been relieved of her duties. And Tawanda's asking her, well, who did that? And she's like, well, you didn't tell me anything. Then we flip back to 3 weeks earlier, and this is Tamar filming her podcast with her niece.
Yes.
She opens their podcast up with saying family secrets suck. And they do, okay? And begins with asking Ashley what made her go to social media. Ashley explains that she wanted to tell her story to help others and understand that her story may hurt others. What I thought about with that was people who do like autobiographies. Because depending on, like, there are certain people, like, especially if let's say your friend group is full of celebrities, right? There are certain people that can be telling their story, but at the same time, while you telling your story, you telling somebody else's story too, because you include whatever this incident is with them also. And what we, I guess, have to leave room for is everybody comes out of a situation with different perspectives about whatever it is that happened. Clearly, that's what we're seeing with Trina. Trina seems to have a different perspective about something. But again, because we don't have context, we don't really know what that is. That's kind of a problem I have with some reality shows, is that you sometimes always have these missing pieces.
Yeah.
And it is their life. It is up to them to decide what they want to share and not share. But yeah, it gives you these missing pieces, because here it is, she's divulged so much and you don't come back and validate much of it. A portion, but not all. What else did I say? Tamar offers her niece an apology, and she offers her an apology for not being in a position to help her at the time. What did you think about that scene?
I think Tamar, she seemed very honest, and I do believe, especially with her going through what she had been through in her past, definitely that's that pulls on her heartstrings. So, I believe she was doing what an aunt should do. I think
she handled it as best as she could.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I do. I think she handled it as best as she could. I give Tamar, I take up for her in the sense of feeling like she is misunderstood. I think part of the way she acts has to do with her being the youngest sibling and kind of having whatever that, like, I feel like all young siblings are like hot messes. You know, like they kind of spoiled, they kind of, you know what I mean, act out easy, probably had a worse attitude. What they said, like I used to say, that new one is iffy. Talk about my youngest son, you know, because he'll flip on your ass in a minute. But
them the ones I always say the parents got tired on. The first one.
That's it. You know what? Like, oh, fuck it.
They got tired on them because, like, you used to beat the heck out of me for that. Go on about your way. Yeah.
Yeah. Time of my youngest kid, they do pull out drama. It's my fault. Yeah, you know, that's what I say. So she just had that youngest
person,
kid thing, or youngest sibling. But I always felt that way about her, even with all the shenanigans, is that she just really misunderstood. And because it's easy to just, because she's so dramatic, you know, like to kind of just blow her off in a sense, which sucks. So I think she handled her niece with care. That's what I'll say. Whether she should have had her on the podcast or not, that's only for them two to decide. That grown lady decided to go on there. She decided to have her. But I'm glad to see she handled her with care while she was there. And I feel like that was another reason why she wanted her to come on hers too, for it to not be somebody else, you know? Some other person, Carlos King, come on, you know, and not that Carlos King, his interviews are good, but I'm just saying somebody that may exploit her in some different way to try to get other information, you know what I mean, from her that doesn't have anything to do with what it is she was talking about. Trina meets with a couple of Tawanda's wedding party. One of the ladies, I don't know who the one girl is, but Breely, is that her name?
Yeah.
She acts on The Family Business. Is that what she on?
That's what she on. I knew her from something. Okay.
I think she is part of The Family Business. And they go to a little wedding shop to get the robes personalized for them for their trip in Tulum. They kind of have a discussion about the bachelorette getaway. Some of if the sisters were coming. I mean, that was kind of a fluff scene. What did you think about that?
Yeah, it was a fluff scene, and they were getting things with the Tawanda's daughter is going to be the junior bride. Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, okay, whatever that means. But I thought it was, you know, it was what it was.
Well, you got married before you had your kids, but yeah, I've seen that quite often. When people get married and they have children already, the girl would be a junior bride. So it's the one. So you got the bridesmaids, the flower girl, and the junior bride come out before the bride.
Oh, okay. Well, shoot, I didn't have a wedding, so hell. So I don't know the wedding etiquette. I went down to the Justice of Peace. That's where I went. So
now, you know what's funny? Well, we'll get to it when they come to Tulum. So the next thing we see is Tawanda is getting dropped off at the airport, and we found out that when she gets out the car to go to the airport, I mean, somebody that hit her with a car. So now that we get to Tawanda, she is in the ER with a fractured wrist, tooth knocked out. Okay, I'm like, Jesus, but thank God it wasn't any worse than that. So she is really distraught about it because, unfortunately, with her wedding being 30 days away or so, she's definitely going to be getting married in a cast. Yeah. And she finds out that she may have to have surgery. Yeah. So that's another thing that's saying you definitely are going to be in a cast when you get married. Let me see. Sean has a man piece. What do we think about his man piece?
Oh, that's what that is.
Yes, girl. It's getting real popular with these men, honey. That's their own personal lace front.
Girl, my brothers did. He said both of them, they got it done. They live in New York. They got it done. I said, boy, y'all was over there looking real cute. Y'all looking real sexy. My brother said my little brother wore it for one day, $800. One day he said it's too bad. My other brother said he was going like this. He said I felt like a bitch. I'm doing all. He said he was trying to get his $800 worth.
I know that's right. You remember when Funky got his and he took it off in one day too.
He said what made him take his off because some girls was laughing. I'm like, they probably even know, who you were or whatever. But he said, I just assumed they was laughing at me. I went and took that bull crap off. But they actually looked nice in it. So I didn't know what this was on his head. Because I guess I didn't see him beforehand, so I don't know. So
okay.
I was like,
I feel like he was low fade. He might have been going bald at the top. You know how men can have a low fade, but it'd be like thin at the top. So I feel like it was like that.
Oh, okay. Because I didn't know what the world. Because she said something about his hair, and I looked at the.
She said it's giving cameo.
Yeah, I'm like, it don't look that bad, but.
It was giving cameo to me too, but listen.
I guess he's trying to get ready for the wedding.
like you said, my man fast, so he can put it on. I'm like, okay, girl, you go, girl. Like I said, she found out she may have to have surgery. And Tony calls to check on her and kind of wants to try to talk her out of doing her trip. I'm with Tawanda, like, get her off my line. That's how I was when I fractured my leg before going to see Beyonce. So for Renaissance, my son graduated in June. That morning, I had went to the garage for something, and it might have been a grasshopper. It's so funny how long it took me to figure out what jumped out at me. But I was telling the kids, I'm like, I don't know what it was. But it took me forever to feel like, okay, maybe it was a grasshopper, but I go down there to get something. I went in the box and honey, something jumped out and I kind of, popped myself back and twisted my knee. Oh. And Lord, yes, fractured like this bone, like right up in my knee. Thank God I didn't have to have surgery for that. But of course I had to be off. I couldn't walk. And not only that, y'all, that happened the morning of his graduation. So I didn't notice it at first, right? I noticed it kind of,
Was it your meniscus?
But I could walk still, huh?
Was it your meniscus?
I don't think it was called that.
Okay.
I don't think it was called that. But I could still walk. I felt like a little tiny pain. So this is what I'm saying. He had his open house the same day as his graduation. So I go to graduation, I come back and, get ready for open house. Now, as the day progressed, I found myself, limping because now on my feet all day. So by the time, it's funny, I got a picture on my Facebook with me with my knee wrapped up with ice on it. Because by the time everything was over, that's when I finally, putting up my leg, with the ice. And girl, by the next day, honey, I couldn't walk on that thing at all. So I ended up going and I fractured it. So I had to be off of it for 6 weeks. And honey, that Renaissance was in July. So I was like, look, and it was like right at the cup. So when I had to go for that last appointment, that 6 weeks, because I had to be off my feet for 6 weeks, or use crutches. That's what it was. I had crutches. And so I was like, God, I don't want to have to take crutches to this concert. Yeah. Like, how am I going to get up and down the steps?
Girl, they never.
You know what I'm saying? So my doctor's appointment was that Thursday before that weekend, honestly. And so that's when he gave me my brace. And that's when he told me he wanted me to still use them crutches. I brought the crutches with me, but I did not take them to the concert because we went to the concert in Kentucky. And girl blinged out. So look, I'm gonna have to show y'all that picture too, because I came back home with the Hobby Lobby, brought me all kind of bling and bling my damn knee brace out, honey.
Yes.
Like, what the hell am I doing with this? This don't go with my outfit.
Lord have mercy.
My doctor was looking at me like,
girl, you want to heal properly.
exactly. That's why he was looking at me like, here I go, I'm gonna wear it. And I'm gonna wear it. But I blame that thing out. Anyway, so yeah, I'm with her. Get Tony off my line because I don't give a damn what you say. If I have to drag this foot, I'm getting my ass.
Exactly.
Yes. Let me see. Where am I at with that? Okay. All right. So then we check in with Tamar. Oh, what did you think about?
Tony is old fashioned.
She is.
She old fashioned.
She is for sure.
She reminds me of like my grandma never believe like everything you do, you're gonna have a setback or something. I would have been like Tawanda, I'm going.
That's
definitely.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going. We're gonna raise this thing up.
Yes.
And we get to where we gotta go. And the good thing is she probably got there faster because she could get they when they got her the wheelchair and probably took her right to the front.
Yes. I would have played up on it.
Okay. All right. So then we meet with Tamar. She's shooting her promo for the upcoming tour with October London, and she's a little confused, like about the creative director and what his vision was while she's in the bar. Then they start to say, "Well, we're gonna use the martini for a prop." She really loses it. Then she's like, "Wait a minute, now why am I holding the martini in this dress in this bar? Like this is not my audience. That's not what they do." Like I kind of felt where she was coming from.
She said, "My audience drink." She said, "My audience drink the what's the Jesus? Long, yeah."
Right. She said, "Look, her audience get F."
Yes. That's not my brand.
Okay, well, she had to go. I had a Long Island
Girl.
decades.
Girl, them Long Island Lights teas at the Legion. Oh my God. Girl, that liquor.
So, this is when she let us know that she had accepted the maid of honor role, and then about the trip, not knowing about it. At that same time, she was asking whoever this guy is. You know, one thing about Tamar, which that's what we're gonna get to. She gotta stop hiring her friends, or stop kind of crossing the lines between working and what the personal life is. But
yes.
He didn't want to go. And I guess he said, "Take me out the chat." This is you and your sisters, and I don't want to be involved. She said she wasn't going to go without him because she needed some emotional support. What did you think about that? See, this is the part of Tamar that gets everybody, kind of against her. Because it's kind of like, sometimes you just don't play nice. You just don't play well. She's
very selfish.
Yeah, that's it. That's a good
very
word.
Selfish.
I like that. I can go with that. Yeah, she don't play well with others. That I agree.
And now I don't know if she said it there because I was in and out on that scene, but I know I caught one part where she said that the wedding was too close to her birthday. And
yes, she said that.
So I was wondering, was this wedding thrown together? You planned this birthday, whatever, before the wedding?
And what do we think about something like that? Like, is that important to I don't. So I've never been married. I've never even been in a position where I was planning a wedding. So I'm saying that to say, how do you get to the date? Like, do the two of you pick a special date that's special between the two of you? Do you pick a random date? Do you pick the date based off of what it is you want to do for the wedding? Or is all of those things possible?
It's probably everything. This where you're going to have the venue at. It plays a big important role. Yeah.
And if you want winter, spring, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that.
So I just wonder if they had planned this wedding, because it seems like long as she was going to be the maid of honor, she was going to be there. So I don't know how all that kind of fell out, but to say it's too close to my birthday, so you got birthday plans out of the, somewhere else. I don't know. It just seems like she just being messy.
She don't play well. Yeah, I felt like I don't know if that's a good enough excuse to not go to your sister's wedding. But everybody grown and get to make their own decisions about it. It felt like you were punishing her. Tawanda is a gutter snipe, honey. Whoa. I'll never forget when Aunjella used that. I was like, damn, that was like a gutter snipe.
I noticed that a lot of, I haven't watched all of the Braxtons, so I can't judge. I'm just looking at it for what I'm seeing here in last season. So I noticed a lot of people do not like Tawanda, or do not care for her character. So I don't know what it is, because like I said, I kind of watched bits and pieces, but never really sat down and watched the whole season through. So when they said that, only thing I got out of Tawanda was that she was there for everyone else, when they had their weddings. And me being a sister, I have a younger sister. If she was getting married, and I don't care, my birthday is September 4th, so I wouldn't care if she was having it on my birthday. I would still attend.
I would agree with that. If I had a sister, my brother, the only way something like that wouldn't happen is we somehow estranged and you done got married and I don't know about none of it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't think I would skip out on your wedding just because it's my birthday. Now, when we get down to the reception, just know it's my birthday too. And not that I would take over, but I would be, having a few drinks for my birthday is what I'm saying.
Because if Tamar gets married, I'm pretty sure she would expect everybody to be there. That's to me.
I would think so. Tracy told her to her face. She did say that she a gutter snipe. You say it was strange when Trina got proposed to on Tamar's birthday dinner. That was, and that did happen. That might be where Tamar just be like, F these girls.
So what did you say?
That was. Trina did get engaged to Vaughn. Vaughn asked her to marry him at Tamar's birthday dinner. And I thought that was rude. Yeah, you don't do that. That was rude. That's like getting engaged at somebody's wedding. Both of those things are rude. So I understood Tamar. That's going to go back to why I say there's a lot of things, if you go back and really analyze, that it just, like I say, they just overran Tamar. You know what I'm saying? Like, because she's the youngest, because she's dramatic. And some stuff she had valid reason to be ready to cuss y'all all out, and tell y'all where to go. Because, I would have been pissed off. Now, what was I about to say before that? Shoot, it just left my brain. Never mind. Let me see where we at.
Oh, shit. Tamar not attending the wedding.
Okay, so, so I feel like Tamar just sticking it to her one more time. Maybe she mad because she, got demoted from maid of honor, and so she like, F the whole thing. I'm going to celebrate myself. Here's the deal. You are in your right to choose that, but is that a way to get closer to your sister? It's not. So, there you have it.
Mm-hmm.
She don't play well with others. So back to the shoot. She realizes that with this concept, she doesn't understand why it is. She didn't know what the concept was and have an opportunity to chime in to say what she wanted or not. She, like I said, she had a valid point about the dress, the scene, and the martini, and being coined with October London. It very much would feel like a Toni Braxton show. And so she decided to have a beer bottle instead of the martini glass. I guess that was a happy way to even that out, because some stuff you just wasn't gonna be able to change at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And the producer to Tamar, Tawanda didn't want her there. We getting there. So what we gonna say about about Tawanda. So going back to Tawanda, were you everybody's secret keeper? It's like the saying, a friend to everyone is a friend to no one. You everybody's secret keeper. Probably not Tamar's. I feel like everybody, all the other ones, Tracy included, rest her soul. But yeah, you kind of just become like the common enemy too. But she do some things that feel like gutter snipers. Like what she said.
Did the producer make that up? Or
it didn't look like it. I felt like they showed us her talking. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, they showed her talking. Now, here's the deal. They had the problems with all of that stuff before, feeling like those producers were pitting them against each other. And with that scene being shown the way it did, feels like it happened again. Because I don't know that if the one thing had to go back to Tamar, but the fact that it did would say that y'all pitting them against each other. Tamar always voiced how she felt like it was a clique and she was never a part of the clique. Yeah, I would agree with that. And it might have been her age. It might have been what she was into. It might have been, like a few things that would aid to that, but the truth is the truth. So she settles on the beer bottle instead of the martini. They go ahead, shoot the stuff. Tamar's happy. The wedding party, minus Tony and Tamar, arrive in Tulum. They have 28 girls. They are all staying at the one villa. Tony calls her mom. We find out Miss Evelyn is writing a book, and I is oblivious to what Tawanda is doing for her bachelorette or her bachelorette party. Now, what y'all think about Miss Evelyn and this book, honey? Girl. Do y'all want to read Miss Evelyn's book?
She's gonna be a bitter old lady in that book. She's gonna run that man down. She said, "What? A whole last longer than the pole."
That's kind of where I'm at. I'm trying to understand what she got in the book.
Girl, think I'm dogging that daddy out.
Yeah, it seemed to be that would be all that it is. Listen, more power to you. I ain't mad at nobody for going out doing some stuff. We all out here trying something, but I ain't gonna read it. You said I wonder if she could take accountability. Which one? Who? Who we wondering if they can take accountability? Back in Tulum, Tawanda expresses her disappointment for her sisters not being there for her, like what you said. She said she felt like she's been there for all of her sisters, and now we can vouch and say she has. Well, and that's because you needed a job. But listen, fair exchange and robbery. Your husband, the first husband, wasn't working ever because he was trying to write a book that he never wrote or put out. And so you was handling all the business and doing everything for everybody else. But I do agree, and I can see how hurtful it is that not just that they weren't there, but you don't even feel like there was a prioritized for them to be there. Especially that damn Tony. They let Tony get away with murder. Tony don't have to be at nothing. And all she got to do is tell y'all she working. And clearly that's true. She got a lot of bills and stuff to pay off and everything.
Ain't she married to Birdman?
I don't know. I don't know. We haven't had that confirmed or denied. You said, well, that's not true. She wasn't there for Tamar's success story, only Tracy and Trina. I feel like her and Tamar have had this thing all this time.
Who? Tamar and who?
Tawanda. But I do look at Tawanda as the sister. She's always the one that somebody is confiding in. She seems to be the one that tries to approach some stuff with some type of level-headedness. So again, I just understand that her first marriage was horrible, and she is in love, and so I think it sucks that her sisters are not breaking their neck to make sure they are celebrating that with her.
Yeah.
It does suck. I feel where she's coming from on that.
I do too.
When Tamar did Love and War, Tawanda was not around. That affected Tamar a lot on her, on Tamar and Ben's show. Tamar was spoiled though. See, like I said, like that lady was trying to, like that man. See, that's what I'm saying. She had to pay our bills.
She was working.
Yeah, it's like she had to pay our bills. Tamar's not attending her wedding because it's too close to her birthday. Tawanda friend, she was talking to her friend in a private conversation. So her friend let her know that she needs to get this off her chest. She needs to have a conversation with her sisters. Let them know how she feels, especially before she gets married, because she doesn't want to take that type of energy into her marriage. I thought that was good advice.
Yes.
Coming from the sister, and I felt where she was coming from. It just really does suck, you know, to kind of put yourself last for so long in a way, and like I say, and things are happening for you, and you know, nobody, like I said, nobody's even prioritizing.
Yeah, nobody's celebrating her.
Tony give her a call to check in and make sure she's doing okay and feeling okay. But Tawanda asked her, "Will you come into the bridal shower?" And so she said, "Well, yeah, I'm gonna try to fit it in." Girl, Tawanda better than me, because I tell her, "Don't even worry about it."
Yeah.
I would tell her right then and there, "If you don't you worry about it, fit it in."
Yeah, I'm gonna pencil you in on my calendar.
That's the type of answer I want for you know, for that and what you come into. I try to fit it in, girl. Fit this in.
Exactly. I would feel the same way, and I understand how she felt, because I would hate to prioritize everyone else, and I'm on the bottom of your list. So,
exactly.
So I would.
That's right. Yeah, I'm gonna try to squeeze it in, because also that's kind of one of them things. And maybe, and this is what I mean by, I share sometimes with people that I'm probably more sensitive, and only people close to me would know that. You know what I mean? More sensitive than what other people would think I am. Meaning, like that, you couldn't tell me nothing like that, and that'd be all right with me. It's gonna be like, well, I don't want you there at all. If that, you know, like if that's the case, because yeah, if your first answer is yes, and then the next thing out your mouth is, I'm gonna try to squeeze it in. Cause like, no, don't squeeze in nothing for me. If you don't have time for it, then you don't have time. And say that. Because what I would hate for you to do is tell me you coming somewhere. The day comes or the week comes, and here you is calling me. Because I already got it in my mind. You ain't coming no damn way once you done told me, well, I try to squeeze it in. So
that's why I wonder, how far in advance did they plan this? Because
I don't know. She got engaged last year. It may be on a rush. It may be specifically for the show. Because I found it interesting that, you know, everybody getting married now has these hashtags. I got to figure out what my son, when I was trying to come up with one for him. His name is Bocot, Bocot. And so I was going to suggest to him to do It's a Bocot Time. So kind of like It's About Time. But to use his name. But anyway, so they had she's walking down the hall. His last name is Hall.
Okay, that's where they got that from. That. Okay.
But I from walking down the hall, it felt like that meant they were going to City Hall.
I know what it meant.
Where walking down the hall come from? You get what I'm saying?
Yes, I couldn't get it. I was so lost on that.
Yeah, to me, that's what, because so I was like, well, are they going to City Hall and then having like a reception? You know what I mean? After, because that's what, like, she's about to walk down the hall, because it's generally an aisle. Like, yeah, and to change it up, I can see you saying walk down the hall if they was going to City Hall. That would fit very nicely.
Well, not to have 28 attendants there at City Hall is ridiculous now.
Well, that's why I said maybe they having the that would incorporate all of those things. I don't know.
Girls.
Okay, well, actually, maybe they just having a wedding at a hall. Maybe everything is just happening all in one place.
Maybe so.
Cause I saw the preview. I'm so mad at her for wearing a purple dress. Cause that's what I was gonna do. Whenever I get married, I was gonna wear a purple dress. I'm like, she done stole my idea. Oh, bald-headed hoe.
In the words of Soulja Boy, bald-headed bitch.
Oh Lord. So yeah, Tawanda ends up expressing her feelings at the table to at least Trina. And I feel like Trina understood. There wasn't much she could say because she was there. So it's like, hey, she like, I'm here. So have that conversation at the Ponderosa in 3 weeks. Let them know how you feel, girl, but get it off your chest. Tamar says that the producers told her that Tawanda did not want her to come to Tulum because she said she had her ticket. Now, this is where some of the confusion for me seems to be. In the chat we have, my thing is, did Tamar choose not to come or she asked her not to come per producer's word? That's where
I think it was probably, I believe it was probably insinuated. Like the producer might have said something, insinuated that Tawanda didn't want her to come. I just couldn't believe that Tawanda would tell the producer, I don't want her to come.
Well, they showed a clip, right, in that same time. And the producer is talking to Tawanda, and he says, I think she wants to come. Now, I believe this is coming to Tulum, not wedding aside. And so she says, she just gonna ruin everything. And, it's like, she did not say the words, I don't want her to come. But it was kind of like the I'll fit you in type of deal. It very much insinuated she was kind of like she didn't come in the first place, tell her to stay at home. Kind of deal. That's what I took from it. Now Tamar, here's what, like I say, it's tricky because at the top, what we saw with her asking whoever that guy is, I don't know who he is in her team, but he would come with her and he said no. She said, well, I'm not going, right? So then we get to this scene and Tamar says, well, I was planning to go. I had my ticket. I had my woo-woo. So I don't know if she said no, she wasn't going in that scene, changed her mind and decided that she would fly down anyway. And that is what the producer would come in to tell Tawanda, like, okay, well, Tamar is going to come. And like I said, she didn't say out of her mouth, I don't want her to come, but she did say she's going to just ruin it. She shook her head no, it felt like that she could stay at home. Like if she didn't come with the rest of us, she didn't need to come at all.
So she was gonna come later.
That's the way it's set up. And Tamar in the confessional kind of said it. She said, I had my ticket. I was gonna go, but I decided not to go because I was told that she didn't want me there. She said it directly to whatever producer was questioning her about it. She said, as a matter of fact, you told me that. That's why they clipped to the scene with the producer talking to Tawanda on the beach.
Well, I feel like the producers is being very messy because they went back and told them at the Ponderosa what they say that she didn't want to film with them. So
that's right.
So So maybe.
And it would seem to me that y'all learned y'all lesson about that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with this, y'all trying to, mend and get back together for Tracy's sake, honey. Tracy up there rolling over.
Girl, she dancing with Jesus.
Honey. So let me see where we at. So also Tamar does discuss the issues with her team about her assistant getting that creative and not showing it to her. She was pretty light on him. And this is what I said. She needs to stop being friends. Stop hiring her friends.
Yeah.
And the reason, it's kind of like, I know that you want to be able to help your friends. I can understand that. But they would have to know how to be professional also.
Yeah, they have to know that.
And if you're not able to do it, then you can just be my friend. And I guess you just pay for everything y'all do when y'all go out or something, and as opposed to having everybody that work with you be
your friend,
the emotional support and your friend. That's one of Tamar's downfalls. And it's probably because she's in a place where she don't trust nobody. Because I'm going to tell you this, I don't trust a soul either. Because when your family will do you wrong, what the you think a stranger would do? You know what I'm saying? So I get it. But I know better than to, just kind of put that type of trust into somebody who worked for me, and then make them my friend, and then make them my emotional support as well. That's a little bit, it's too many blurred lines in that.
Yeah.
But she didn't necessarily scold them. She said it makes them all look bad as a team. So we get back to Tulum with Tawanda. This is the next day. Wait a minute. This is the next day after they arrived, it looks like. Or maybe the same day, I can't tell. But they take the wedding party ziplining. Of course, Tawanda can go ziplining. Brooke, who is her daughter, is there, and she's going ziplining. Did you notice that they put Tawanda and Sean's daughter? That's not his daughter.
Oh, I didn't pay attention.
Well, she was married before.
Yeah.
So her kids are by Andre.
Yeah, because she looks just like her dad. I said, to me, she looks just like her dad.
You mean her?
She looks like Andre, the daughter.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out who you talking about.
No, I know who her daddy is. No. I know who her dad is. I just didn't read the caption.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they captioned Tawanda and Sean's daughter. I said, oh, okay. That's what we doing. Tawanda, that was a little bogus. I mean, Andre ain't worth a damn, and clearly he must ain't paying no child support.
They grown? Is she grown?
I think she is now.
Uh-huh.
Or maybe out of high school. Grown is relative, but you know what I mean?
I know they just said she was an empty nester, so I just assumed she may be grown.
So she goes ziplining. All the girls go ziplining. It's Brooke's first time. She look. I like the way she was wiggling her leg. Here I go. That would be me.
That would be me.
I've been ziplining before, but I can imagine that is the way I'm a zipline when I do.
Yeah, her eyes closed and all, screaming and howling.
Yes, oh my God.
Yes.
That was cute. The ladies are back at the villa playing bachelorette games. They are playing Don't Make Me Laugh, Pin the Banana. Okay. And who knows the bride best?
Yes.
So Tawanda pins the banana on the first try, honey. They say she got dick dar, honey. She knows exactly where it's at. She know exactly where to find that thing, okay? And as they're playing Who Knows the Bride Best, they ask a question about where her and Sean's first date was at. Nobody seemed to know, and then they call out Trina's name, which then we realize Trina is not in the crowd with them. I mean, there's 28 people there.
Yeah.
I know damn well you'll lose somebody,
yeah.
Right? The producers go and find Trina in a bedroom. She's talking to Vaughn on the phone, who's her husband, and he discloses that he went to urgent care and he found out that he has congestive heart failure. So Trina is on the phone saying she's going to get ready to come. He's asking her why, and she just said, my husband is in the hospital. I need to know where he is, and that's where the show ends.
I think she should have. I don't know if I understand that I'm going to leave, but when she said don't tell her sister. I'm
Don't
like,
tell Tawanda, yeah.
Because Tawanda already is feeling the way that her sisters are not there. I think I would have said, you know, if she didn't want to tell her exactly, but my husband was having a medical emergency, I'm pretty sure Tawanda would understand that.
You know what I took her when she said, don't tell Tawanda? I think she was letting them know, don't you be the one to tell her.
Okay,
like,
let me tell her. Okay, okay.
I mean, you can't get out of there without telling her something.
Yeah, because I was like, is she about to leave and not say nothing?
Yeah, no, yeah. I can't imagine that she would do anything like that. I don't even peg Trina as that type of person that would go, that's kind of.
I was thinking that she was saying that because she didn't want to ruin Tawanda's time, you know, have her worried about her husband, let her keep. But I said, well, she still would need to know where her sister went to. So, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, right? Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't see her being like that. Like she would just walk up out of there and not say nothing to anybody. I for sure think she will tell Tawanda. I took her saying, don't say anything to Tawanda, and I'll have the conversation. Mm-hmm. Don't you say anything to Tawanda, because clearly you have to have that conversation with them, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, Lauren and Tawanda. Like, you know what I mean? Clearly you have to, you know, you got to tell them, like, well, don't you be the one, mm-hmm. right? Like, don't you be the one. Now, and I agree. She needs to go and see about her husband. I wonder if he was having some sort of issues before she left. Not to say that she should have stayed, but I'm kind of curious about what was happening. That guy, chest pain, I guess, honey.
Yeah. Exactly. You know, a lot of men put stuff off too. Mm-hmm. And I have an uncle that has MS. And the first time he ever went to see about himself, he laid in the bed for 3 days. His wife thought he had a stroke. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, surely you had some other symptom before this. And he's like, well, yeah, my eyes used to twitch and this and that. But you didn't think to go and, I mean, because when this happened, he basically went from being a normal person as far as we knew to no longer being able to do nothing.
Wow, what you saying, to a complete invalid?
Yes, I mean, because the only thing he can use is his mouth now. I mean, he can talk. Mm-hmm. He can't feed himself or nothing. I'm like, well, surely you had some other symptoms besides not being able, I mean, something. He's like, well, my eyes are twitching, this and that and the other, but you never went to go and see about yourself. You got good dang on insurance. You had an awesome job, but he just, you know, put it off. And then by the time this happened, I think he ended up going to the hospital for a whole month. That's, he let you know you got some good insurance because they kept him in the hospital, not going to no nursing home. And but from that, I'm like, a lot of men just don't, I don't think, see about themselves like that, like we do.
They don't. You're right.
So yeah.
Hopefully some of that is changing. Some, I think, you know, men are finding more out about their prostate, and taking that a little bit more serious. You know, they're not blaming the girls. Look, on their ED, they're going to find out why they got it.
That's on they going to find out because that thing ain't working. They ain't worried about nothing. They at the gas station getting stuff. Ain't worried. They got high blood pressure, diabetes, and everything, but that thing ain't working. Girl, they at the gas station getting them pills from the gas station.
Lord. Oh, man. So we'll check back in next week to see, or actually tomorrow the episode, right? Mm-hmm. So we'll see, you know, how Trina handles that. If she does leave, I imagine she will. You know, it's up in the air because he sounded like he was trying to tell her not to come. You know, I don't know if that means she won't.
So he said he was in urgent care. So that sounds like he's not at a hospital.
Well, the urgent care may have sent him to the hospital.
Okay.
Because from what so just me being a builder generally, I I don't think you get those types of diagnoses at the urgent
No, you don't.
care. They usually will send, like if it's something more serious, they send you, somewhere else to do that. So at least none of that, besides urgent care, that part wasn't said. But for you to say that they said I have, or maybe they said they think, maybe that, like we didn't hear him say they think it is. It sounded like he said I have congestive heart failure. But I would have, because even the urgent care doesn't even have the testing, at most of them to do those types of testing that you would get that particular diagnosis.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just assuming he got sent somewhere else and then got that. That's my assumption.
Or maybe he already had it.
And Could be too, because also I would think that would take, if you could probably find out in the same day, but I would think that would take some time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So could be. The way that they reacted, the way she reacted, it sounds like it was the first time she heard it.
Yeah.
So, and maybe that's why she on cooking. Maybe they cooking healthy stuff. I never paid attention to the cooking videos they do on Instagram, her and Bond. But it could, like, maybe, cooking healthy now for him or something. He's still kicking, so we... So we know that he is at least, doing well as of today, right?
Uh-huh.
And we, hope that he continues to do well with that. So, like we said, I'm rating the 2 episodes placed together. I'm giving them about a 6.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that they are leaning a lot on that Ashley, at least at the beginning. But here's the other part. I'm glad that they at least brought it and addressed it. And even if we don't feel like we got all of the information, I'm glad that they did not kind of just
drag it out,
push that under the rug like it didn't happen. I'm taking up for Tamar in the sense of sometimes shit, like, you're not trying to be messy in something that's already messy. The shit is messy, you know what I mean? So at whatever point that you were going to insert yourself to be supportive to your needs, it just would feel like a betrayal to your sisters either way it went, if they felt like they were done with the situation. So I appreciate Tamar for just giving the girl, some support. I think that's important. I wish that Tamar, I feel like she be trying, but then, and that's everybody. Like, when you're used to doing a certain thing, it's like me, kind of spazzing out and yelling. Like, I try to, approach everything, very calmly. I'm talking about with my kids sometimes and stuff. But here, every so often, something just switch you back into that mode. And, like, that's what we mean with, like, she doesn't play well. It's like, I don't see you doing a lot to help men. But on the flip side, I don't see nobody else doing a lot to help men either. So, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Who's supposed to put in the effort? You know what I mean? Like, you ain't supposed to just be nobody's doormat. I hate that she doesn't plan on showing up to her sister's wedding. I think that's a spoiled brat move.
Yeah.
On her part, but she's a spoiled brat, so par for the course. But we're going to keep watching. And we're going to keep bringing out the rest of these reviews. Let us know, what are you thinking about the season so far? Drop down in the comments. Give me a rated 1 to 10. 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest.
So I wonder also, too, so we saw Miss E, so we're not, I would imagine that Ashley seen her grandmother when she came to town. I would hope so. I mean, she ain't been here in 5 years. So I would hope that the grandma or somebody.
And that's why I said I wanted to point out that I noticed nobody's talking to her about that. I don't know if that's good or bad. Like, because I don't know what to think about that. I know she know it happened. You know what I mean? But
well, I imagine the grandma probably don't want to she's older. She probably whatever she wanted to say to her and say behind closed doors and keep it that way.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
So, and because especially with Tamar saying that the way they handled her in the whole situation with keep it hush hush or whatever. So I would just look for the mother maybe to talk to Tamar. And I mean, me being a mom, if one of my kids wasn't going to my other kid's wedding, I would feel away. So I would try to see if I can try to mend the bridges between the two.
True.
So that's
True.
so and the same with my grandchild too. To see if we can. But like I said, she's older. She probably don't want to do it, in front of the public, but maybe be handling that behind the scenes. So
yeah, I can see that. I can see that. So yeah, for sure.
I'm not gonna get.
Well, look, we got our Braxton family values. The Braxtons.
The Braxtons.
The Braxtons. We got that review done finally.
Yes.
I guess we'll see what the rest of the season brings us. I guess we're gonna see. So back to your point about this wedding, I can see Tawanda throwing something together because they need something to film. It is given that.
That's what it sounds like.
It is given that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely given that. Because, you're right, she's been engaged quite some time. And, yeah.
It seems like everybody has something to do.
Something you took all this time to plan.
Yeah. Everybody has something else to do, seems like. Mm-hmm. So I was just wondering, did she just plan this last month? And say we getting married?
Everybody got something else to do.
That's what it seems like.
But that's why I say they let Toni get away with a lot. And I feel like some people might feel like, well, she's Toni Braxton, and it's like, but she on the show with her sister. And so I would think that we could see her not show up like Toni Braxton with her sisters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Especially.
They let her get away with it though.
Well, maybe
she misses a lot, even throughout everything.
So
she misses a lot. When they first started, she barely filmed.
So is she like the friend of the show then?
No, she's a part. They've always had her a part of the cast, but I'm saying she's like I said, especially at the beginning. I feel like these last, especially these two seasons, and maybe the last couple of the seasons going back to the Braxton family values, she filmed a lot more. But when it first started, she wasn't there hardly nothing. And I do think maybe that was a part of her not wanting to be a part of it.
Mm.
Specifically, and because it was that's Tamar's idea and baby and stuff, as far as having them do the reality show and things. But I just like Toni for me I love Toni as a singer. I really do. But on this show, for me, she just be real stuck up.
Yeah.
And then always with the health stuff. And I be confused about that too, because I'm like, it go back to what I say, stop playing on my emotions. Do you care about your health? Because you run around doing a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then everybody else is supposed to, understand that you have this heart condition. And if you have a heart attack, you might not make it. It's like, well, shouldn't you remind yourself and your team of that? Because you are doing a lot. You out here in Las Vegas doing the shows every night, and now you want to direct too? Don't you have a heart condition? And I'm saying,
and lupus.
I'm not saying that you're not supposed to do these things, but don't come crying to me about your heart condition. Get your shit out.
Because remember one time she was performing with the heart monitor on.
Was she?
Yeah.
Lord. I don't know what to think about that. Maybe I'm just a cold-hearted bitch. God, I never thought that I was, but I just
She must
stop using these things to, like, to fool at people.
Yeah, she got a lot of bills
over
there.
Manipulative or something. Like, I don't know. I don't like it. I feel the same way about TikTok sometimes. Like, so you can be in people's rooms and stuff, and you have a person, they go from room to room to room, and you got the same sob story. And I'm not trying to, like, diminish what a person's story is and what it is. Maybe I'm just, like, caught up in a survival type of mentality to where, like, there are things, like you said, it's not for public consumption. So there are things that I'm not running around telling everybody else.
Girl, people do a lot of stuff for social media, so
yeah,
they want that.
So I got a way of rolling my eyes,
like shut up. I'd have left the room. So I hear this.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, get me out of here. And too, I do think, like, this is for me an escape. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, I don't use this to get, filled in those ways. You know what I mean? Like, so I've kind of always been that way. You know what I mean? Like, even with friends and stuff, there's certain friends that are probably not going to know certain things.
Exactly.
Because I'm just not going to share those things with you. You know what I mean? Then it's other friends that get a little bit more, and not even, it's not even a huge group of that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's friend here that we going to talk a little bit deeper, and yeah, when I'm feeling down, I'm gonna tell you why and what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, but so that's how I've been feeling about Tony. And look, and this is my other thing. It's always something with you. That's that.
Yeah.
Because that's what I said. Maybe that makes me cold. But I have a hard time dealing with that type of personality too, in which it's always something.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have no good days?
No. No.
Yeah. Like, I can't.
I know people like that too. I'm like, oh my God. And it's just, to me, I'm not going to sit in, even if I'm having a bad day or if I'm having issues, I'm not going to just tell everybody, because why? I'm going to tell you for what? So you can go and talk about it to somebody else? No. And you're not going to help me fix it. So no. I don't need my business out there like that.
Kind of, right. Yeah. I'm a solution-based thinker also. So, like, that's another thing. Like, you tell me something, I might come to you and say, like, well, okay, you know what I mean? Like, not even whatever the issue is, maybe it's not something to directly help that issue, but maybe it's just like your mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, okay, you gotta, read this verse, or, let's do whatever, whatever it is that would be suggesting to take you out of that mindset, that mind frame or something. But some people are what they call, like, professional victims. You know what I mean? And they get more staying in that space.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah. and I'm just not one that's like that.
Yeah.
And also the same, like, there are times when, like, I want you to hear me out, but I also want you to give me a word, honey. Shit, give me shake this shit.
Yes. Because, girl, when they have those woe is me pity parties, no. Okay, no. Because we all can think of something we all have a struggle with or something. So.
And that's it. That's why I say, like, maybe that feels cold to somebody for me, or maybe maybe I'm just too much of a survivor or something. Like, it's just like, everybody has something. Yeah. If you really get down to it, it's just everybody ain't sharing it. So that's why, like, I tell my boys, always raised them in that way. Like, you be kind to everybody, not just the people you like, and not just the, your family. Like, as far as the way that you go about treating people, because you don't know what nobody fucking dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Not that it's your problem. Is what it is that everybody can use just a little grace, and you don't know when you giving a smile to somebody, when saying hello to somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or doing something kind of nice for somebody. You don't know what that might mean to a person and what it is that they have been going through that day, that week, that whatever.
Yeah.
Like they can just, brighten their day up a little bit. It feels good sometimes. It's been a long time since it happened to me because I don't have to go to work in the mornings no more. But I don't have to drive. But like you ever went like to get your coffee or whatever, and the person, in front of you kind of take care of your order. So, like that feel good. And it feel even better when you pull up and they say, oh, the car in front took care of it. And then you can say, well, I'm going to take care of theirs. You know what I'm saying? What the
Pay it forward. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shoot, man, cool. That feels good too, so that's like, and a simple thank you, like you just don't ever know, what it can do and how it can change somebody's day around. So it just like I've always had them just remember that, like just, be kind to everybody. Now, I'm not saying they ain't been assholes to some people. Maybe they have. I don't, they're my baby, so I don't think so.
I remember my son.
If somebody said it, they alive.
My son was in school. I never forget. He got these Jordans, and he always took care of his stuff. But he noticed a kid that had holes in his shoes or whatever, and he took his shoes and gave it to the boy. And so he works for public transportation here in Fort Wayne. The the bus system, and so he see homeless people all the time. So one day he came here, he was getting one of his old coats so he can give it to the guy that always riding on his bus. I said, oh, what you doing with that coat? He said, this guy like he's cold, so I'm gonna just give him this coat here.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's nice, because he's always a person who looks out for someone else. So
and like I say, you might can't do it all the time, but you do it when it's put on your heart. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, you just never know if that just kind of would just change a person's perspective, day, whatever.
So I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. I raised a good kid.
Most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time. He's a good kid though. Yeah, he's a good one. Yeah, I think they, for the most part.
I was like, that's why I say, like, man, look, now somebody say something different, they a lie.
Yeah, they're a whole lie.
They a lie, and the truth
ain't in them. That's right. That's right. Yeah, so I would give this episode, 6, 7, somewhere 6.5. But I'm looking forward to seeing whatever they have tomorrow and deciding. So, how many episodes you think this season is going to have?
I'm about to look and see what the last season was, because, like I'm saying, if they are flipping back and forth to that dinner has to be the finale.
Yeah.
And if that's only 3 weeks, I'm going to say they probably, let me just look it up. I'm going to think about 6 or 10 episodes.
Now, is she going to get married?
I see 5 being listed on 2. Let me see, what did they have? They had 8 episodes in season 1. And right now, I can see 5 being scheduled. A total of 5 episodes.
So you think Tawanda, she's going to
be episode 3?
So will Tawanda's wedding be included in the season or no?
I'm thinking it is.
Okay, so that should be the finale then.
So let's see. Tomorrow, Vaughn fills in Trina in his recent health scare. Tony prepares for her solo show. Tawanda shares disappointment at Tamar and Tony's something. I can't get the rest of that. Let me see what come up. And then a sister dinner. Okay, so episode 4 is the dinner. So I'm probably wrong. So maybe Tawanda's wedding will be the finale.
Okay.
So it sounds like the dinner we're gonna see it play out episode 4. So it says the sister dinner turns explosive when Tamar drops bold accusations. Tony reels from the loss of revamping Tony reels from Lost while revamping her Miami show. Tawanda something. I can't get the rest of that either. And then the Queen and I, Tawanda shower with gifts at her bridal shower. So that's episode 5.
So maybe Tony will be at the bridal shower then?
That's what now Tony said she's gonna try to fit it in, honey. She got her show in Miami, honey. So she gonna try to fit it in.
Okay.
That's what she said.
Well.
I'm thinking she gonna get there, but like that's what Tony is always pulling that. She is a diva.
Yes, she is.
She is a diva. She is always pulling that. And then, like even at the earlier episodes, it was I don't feel good. It was her lupus. We ain't heard nothing about this lupus since she came with the heart condition.
So then the lupus probably attacked her heart, which made her heart probably, because that's what it does.
Don't you still have lupus?
Yeah.
Where did the lupus go?
It's still there.
That's all I'm saying.
It's the underlying issue.
I'm saying, but you still got to worry about it both, right?
I think what it does is attacks different organs.
I mean, I understand that, but you still got it, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's not getting rid of it.
The heart issue. You still got your lupus.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm saying we ain't heard. She ain't had to lay her ass down for that lupus since she got the heart condition. That's all I'm saying.
When she had to lay down and do the lupus, what did it do for her then?
Well, she just couldn't go into anything. Like that's what I'm saying. She, and I don't have lupus. I don't know how it exactly affects people. I've seen people have, deal with it in some ways. I don't mean to sound facetious in the way that I'm describing it. I'm just saying she ain't had to lay down no damn well in a long time from the lupus. But at the beginning, a lot of stuff was she couldn't make it. She wasn't feeling well. She couldn't show up for this. She couldn't show up for that. She has to deal with her health.
Now she got to work. Now she got to work.
Yeah, now she got to work.
She got to work hard for all the time the lupus had her down, even though she married the Birdman. I don't know.
She might be paying alimony to that ex-husband.
Oh, but damn.
She might. What was he in? Because they make it. Well, I don't know what kind of residuals they get, but they not on tour because I keep asking about that.
Well,
like,
shit.
They on tour?
Hell, he should be in another band or something. He play an instrument. Shoot.
Yeah, but if he getting that Tony out here working her ass off, and if he getting that money, I guess he figure he can just keep getting that.
How long have they been? Is that like forever?
I don't know. Well, so the only thing I know is about females, but I assume it will be the same for male. If you get it until you get remarried, right?
Well, I didn't know if it was a cutoff day.
Remarried, that's why some people be not wanting to get remarried. But if you get remarried, then alimony stops.
So I mean,
I only assume it's the same for a man.
So if we married for 5 years and we're divorced for 35 years, I'm paying you alimony for 30.
Oh, now you right. What you say? Ain't no time limit.
Shit. God damn. Hell, I would.
Girl, wait. That might be why so many fatal attractions and all.
Well, shit. When is this junk over? Well, we've been divorced way longer than I've been married to your ass. What the shit?
I'm over here. I got
Murder. Okay.
And then unalived his wife and the son.
Yeah.
I don't know what he did that for, because now he's sitting up in prison. What good did that do anybody?
Girl. People do the strangest things.
Honey, I'm telling you.
And then they want to pray to the Lord.
That must be why. Must be like, you're not going to get my money for the rest of your life.
No, because I'm like, damn.
And I watch way too much investigation.
Girl.
I said this back. I've been watching, so I remember when Snap first came out. Because I was like, oh my God, this is so good. But after a while, I had to stop watching it. Number one, I had to stop watching it because I was feeling a little too close to snapping myself with that damn fool.
I used to watch the ID channel all the time. And I never forget, I was closing up daycare. It was like about midnight because I should do first and second shift. And I happened to look out the patio doors and see like 3 white men in my backyard. And I'm like, oh, they must be looking for something. Then I'm like, you dumb bitch, you got a dang old privacy fence. So here I'm screaming, but it was like a whisper scream. I'm like, ah! My husband and son jump up because all I can tell, it looks like white men out there. Turns out it was teenage kids, but shit, they look grown to me.
Right.
They kicked down part of my fence in the back, and what's behind my house is like a creek. Yeah. So, and I'm like, what the hell? They in the dang there's like a little dollhouse out there the kids play in, smoking weed.
They came and put themselves at home right in your dollhouse.
Girl, I said,
kicking it place.
Girl, I'm like, well, how would you? Because it's a privacy fence all the way around. Why would you come in this yard?
Right.
And my husband crazy.
Right. Okay.
I'm like, what the? I was so mad, but they tore down one of our fence, like one of the planks of the fence in the back to come in. When my husband come out the door with his gun, I'm like, I'm screaming at him like, stop, because I don't want, nobody to get hurt or whatever.
Yeah.
But, he's looking at, so when the police finally make it here, girl, they had the kids sitting out there in the driveway and they took them home. I said, them black kids, they would have went to, the juvenile place.
You ain't lying.
But they went home.
You ain't lying about that one right there.
Girl, I only got one $50 payment on my fence. I'm like, what the heck? But yeah, I watch a lot. I used to watch a lot of it. I thought we was about to have a home invasion going on.
I don't blame you, honey. At least you had your husband there.
Girl.
I watched too much of it, and so it just make me so leery about dating and stuff, because I just be like, man, how do you know if you like never know a person? You know what I'm saying? Like, God, that just really is.
Because I had my daughter to share her location with me. Now, she works for the railroad, but where she usually goes from here to Chicago. So she always stays the night there at the dorm. But so she'll leave because it's on the south side of Chicago somewhere where they have Norfolk Southern dorm. So she'll go and walk over to the restaurants or whatever. So she met some guy there. I said, girl, you better not go, you don't know shit about that damn place. Put your damn location on, And so the time because I think he met with her a couple times there, and then he wanted to take her to the lakefront. Girl, so you don't know that motherfucker. So she shared locations with me or whatever. So I'm calling her, texting her, you better get your ass back to that damn door. But
right.
He was, a nice gentleman. So he took her back. But I was like, look, you don't know. You ain't in your own vehicle. You don't know, you don't know nothing about Chicago, even though you work there, but you're not out and about. So and I'm like, hell no. And I always think in the back of my mind, what if somebody do something to your kid? Watching these ID channels and you see how people do stuff. I'm like, oh no, that'd be the worst thing.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
And you don't know where they at.
My kids have my location. Now, I don't have all of theirs, but they got mine.
Uh-huh. And like I told my son too, just because you grown and got your own place, when you leave and go somewhere, I expect you to call me. Because if you can't get a hold of me, you wonder where the hell I'm at. So if I can't get a hold of you, I need to know where you at. And I said, and that goes for my mother, because I remember we almost went in there and almost cussed my mom out because we didn't know where the heck she. Girl, she wouldn't answer the house phone or cell phone. Girl, in there sleep. And then had the house locked up with all the security on, so you couldn't even get in there. Yeah. By the time my little brother got in there, he went off because we didn't know what had happened. And she was like, I had my phone on the charger in the bathroom, and then the house phone, because you got the house phone was in another room. I'm thinking your house phone should be
sleep too, like let her be sleep.
Girl,
but I get you.
Yeah, she'll never usually be asleep that time of day. And I'm like, why isn't your phone by your bed? I was like, oh, girl, we was all kind of nervous, but yeah.
I'm notorious for not answering in the middle of the night just because sometimes I just sleep that hard. My phone is on vibrate and silent now because I have been going to those meetings, and so now it just kind of stayed. Like at first it had been on ring, but shoot, I could still be asleep so hard and not even hear it.
But normally she would have her house phone by her bed. And I'm like, what? She said, well, that's in the other. The heck are you doing? You stay by yourself. What? And it wasn't late. It was my mom usually. It was probably like 8 o'clock in the evening. What the hell is you doing sleep? And then that's when we kind of realized, well, mom was getting older, so maybe so. But she had all of us in a panic. I'm like, what the hell's going on with my mama? Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's all.
I remember before they had locations. This was my son. So and I moved down here. I had been here for a while. Now the first guy we dated a couple years. I knew him, and so I was more comfortable with going with and all of that. But once we weren't dating anymore, I ended up. It was funny. I called my friend because I actually am very picky in particular anyway. So not many men get the opportunity to take me out. But I called myself. I was like, well, I'm gonna be more open is what I said. So I met this guy, and I kind of enjoyed meeting people in a unique way. I'll say it that way. You know what I mean? So I say that to say if I'm at bars and stuff, I usually don't pick up men at the bar. Like those are not the type of men that I'm gonna end up going on a date with.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the guy, asked me if he could take me out. So I said, yeah, he wants to come pick me up. It was something. Somehow I got in his car, but I remember taking a picture of his license. I took a picture of the display and sent it to my friend. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go on a date with this guy. Like, you don't hear from me. This
is exactly. Yes, exactly.
Because that was another thing I kind of didn't do a lot, especially first date.
Exactly.
Like if I've known if we kind of dated, had a few dates, then fine, you can come and pick me up. You know what I'm saying? I'm riding the car, but this was a first date. And I'm like, let me spend the license plate to somebody.
I know that's right, girl, honey. These people, because you don't know what people are doing. When you watch ID channel and you see all these, damn. And I go
to sleep to that mess. That's
yes. Yes. My dad goes, damn, you must be morbid as hell. I'm like, yeah. You watch this shit all day long, yeah.
You put it on. I almost put it on right to go to sleep.
Yeah. But yeah.
That's hilarious.
But I mean, because I like to watch it because they did the one. What was it? Mean Girls or whatever. They had one of Fort Wayne girl from high school.
Yeah, Mean Girl Murders.
I'm like,
I done watched the Playboy ones. I done watched all cast. I used to like Love Thy it's not Love Thy Neighbor, but it's something about the neighbor.
Fear Thy Neighbor.
That's what.
With the hand with blood. Yes, his hand go down with the blood on it. Yes, girl. Fear Thy Neighbor.
And then I used to like the one guy, John Kincaid. Is that his name? The white guy? Joe, I think his name is. It's his own show. White old guy. I think he'd go retell. He was a
detective in Colorado. Yeah.
I
used to watch him too.
Black guy Dempsey. I used to watch his. Look, I'm telling you, I could go down the list. But it all started out with, and this is again like, I don't know why I would go down these rabbit holes like this. But of course, with Snap, once the ID channel came, it was like married at damn. I was about to say Married at First Sight, but it's not that shit. It's Married something. Let me see. Good Lord. I'm about to see what that. Cause girl, that was a good one. Not Married to Evil. It don't even come on no more. I watched that. Who the bleep did I marry? That's what it is.
Oh.
Who the bleep did I marry?
Okay.
Southern fried homicide.
Girl. And then I'd be over there Googling the people. Let me see what
that too, especially if they somebody in Indiana. I'd be like, oh, where was that story? Like, and then and that's enough. I like to, I told my mama that too, how I got into the different ones, because sometimes I like to see if the different shows have a repeat type of case, and to see if they got some new information or got something different or whatever. Girl, my butt needs to cut it out. But that Who the Bleep Did I Marry had me in a chokehold for a while too. Then it was Fatal Vow. That was another one, girl. Then it was Women Who Kill, girl.
And they usually have 3 women on there. On these, yeah, I used to watch all the girl. I used to be sitting there watching all day long.
All day long, honey.
Yes.
All day long.
Be playing all day ID channel.
That's what I say. That nobody better not think he can put his hands on me and lay down next to me and close them eyes, baby.
Girl. Ain't gonna happen.
Might not wake up.
Nuh-uh, it's not gonna ever happen. No, ma'am, no, sir. That will not ever happen. No.
Ain't no how. But all right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining us. We had a few people come in, had some chatters. I appreciate that so much. And do you want to do Braxtons on Sunday, or we want to keep it? Do we want to keep this week? I think we can do the weekly. Keep it in the week if you want to. How you want to do it?
I would probably do it through the week. Would be better because Sunday.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, because I'm not.
Yeah, and we just keep our weekends to be, get out and do whatever we want to do.
Yeah, live life. Like I gotta go to funerals. I gotta.
Right. Okay, just a little bit. Y'all know I got 30 days I'm counting down to the baby's wedding.
He's getting married on what day?
The 22nd, November 22nd.
Okay. And where's it going to be?
Dominican Republic.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yes, girl. We going on vacation, honey.
Girl, I'm sitting here. I'm like, I'm so ready for vacation right now. It's ridiculous. I tell you these.
This is gonna be my vacation because that's why I couldn't plan nothing because I knew, I had this coming up. And shoot, with me not being in my fleet and even at the shop, like my money been a little funny, honey. So we gonna see how it goes because I'm sure looking to see what I'm doing for my birthday, but we'll see.
Yeah, I know how it is. I said, the government shut down and everything is shut down over here. I was like, because if this thing keeps going longer and longer, I'm looking for some things to happen over here.
You know, differently. I say, I know I try to tune a lot of that stuff out, but I'm like, how this man to shut down the government, and now you planning on remodeling the White House?
And asking the DOJ for $230 million? Girl, that's a fool right there.
So we got to make sure we get out and vote in these primaries, honey. We got to make sure that stop this dead in this track.
Girl,
we already too far because you let the man get back in here. But golly, something got to happen. Something needs to happen. I ain't telling nobody what to do. All I'm saying is something needs to happen. And I don't know why these good people like Diane Keaton and a few others, I don't know why they have to be the ones. I don't know.
Lord, Lord, yes.
Because we got one that we willing to let
go. I don't understand it. I don't understand it, but people gonna start really feeling it. They take away their little food stamps next month. They're gonna be crying for real. And hopefully that makes them get out and vote.
Yeah, I can't say for sure, but the issue is that I don't think it's them that didn't. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, but I'm not. No. Because most of the people who do receive stuff like that ain't us. Okay.
No, I do agree.
So a lot of them voted for that.
Right.
So that's why the farmers are all upset because they voted for that bullshit, and look what happened.
Well, that's what I was saying about the protests. Like, in general, it was just like, why is nobody really talking about? First of all, we can't have shit. Let's just start there because it feels like protesting is our thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like for the people who are trying to change something and want something, but at the same time, and this is me not always understanding every little bit, but I do know this much. You talking about no king? God damn it, y'all voted this man here. Like, we here now, so now it's like, don't you get another agenda going because we are here. You know what I'm saying?
It's just like when he first got in, and all the white women, they did the pink pussy march, had the hats and everything, and I said about half of them bitches probably voted for him in the first place. So you want to go out here and would have remorse or want to take back your vote? This is craziness. And if anybody, if a person can say this is the way the government or the way the United States should go this way, they got to be crazy. And I just seen some guy who was a mail carrier get questioned by ICE, a black guy. I'm like, this is.
And I saw Instagram, and it was a little kid asking, well, why they not picking up the white immigrants? Exactly. Right? Because it was never about that. And that's what, I would tell people when they were, when they had that type of thing to come out their mouth, especially being like one of us. It's kind of like, do you hear yourself? You know what I'm saying?
But this ain't nothing but the modern day patty rollers. Slave patrol. That's all it is.
And one thing is this is not the answer to the one thing you talking about. Like, well, they taking this and here, where is this shit y'all think they giving these people? And the next thing is, my mom happened to say it. Well, they giving them so much in food stamps. My deal is, why the hell are you concerned about them getting these food stamps? Do you know how damn destitute you gotta be to have food stamps?
And illegal,
come on.
And illegal immigrants can't get that. They can't get into that shit.
Well, that's what some of them were saying is that they do, and I do believe I can't call out what it is. There is a way that they end up with certain things, right? Because we're talking about basic, and that's my point. My point with everybody wanting to use that type of thing to feed their voting is you say that as if the government don't know that they are here. They know that they're here. You know what I mean? Like, so you don't have to be concerned about what it is you know what I mean, and getting them out. Like, no, they know that they're here.
Yeah, they know they're here, and they know the farmers knew too. They just didn't think they was gonna get their good immigrants.
That's not, like, right. It's like, yeah, like, no, this is not a secret. They're not swimming over in the ocean like they could. And so it's kind of that same thing with because the first time it was a lot of people voting that way because they was concerned about their pow rights. You know what I mean? And it was like, yeah, no, you got to look at the whole picture. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the first thing is, that's the one thing ain't going nowhere is the rights of their arms, because that's the only way they got permission to run around and do what the hell they do.
But those single issue voters get on my nerves real bad.
Exactly. That's it. Exactly. And I agree. But that's how he won. That's how he won both times. And yeah, y'all some damn fools. And now y'all want to take y'all ass out and protest. And don't have, and that I'm still solution based. What are you supposed to get out of this?
Girl.
Because I ain't heard nobody tell nobody who to go vote for in 2-3 weeks.
Girl. They want the lady who won the Congress seat a couple of weeks ago. They still haven't seated her yet. They said the government shut down, so they ain't doing shit because they don't want the dang on Epstein files to come out. So I try not to look at it too much because it makes me mad that we're back here.
No, I agree.
And it seems like
I told my friend, I said, well, I got my passport. That's what I would tell anybody. Get your fucking passport. Make sure you got it, because you might have to get up out of here.
And then
I can.
I mean, but then also on top of that, I said he's been in since January 20th. It seems like he's been in 3 years. I swear to God,
Girl, it was only 10 days and it felt like 3 years. It was like, damn, it's only been 10 days.
I'm like, oh my God, he's wearing me out. So,
and that's, like I said, I just tuned it out. The only reason why I have that much information is because I got back on Instagram. You know, I had been off Instagram since January, about that time, I think. Maybe a little bit after that. It's been I don't think it was January. But I know I was off a few things off that Facebook since January. And then Instagram, because I feel like I was off Instagram for about 3 months or something.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying, I wasn't getting a feed of anything out. So I was, because I have to keep my mental together. And it is so stressful.
Yeah, it is. It really
is. I just thank God that my kids are not in school. I don't know, like they're older, and I don't know, it feels a little better to have them at the age that they are now, because especially where the food and stuff is concerned, because some of these prices and stuff, I couldn't imagine having to, shop the way I had to shop while they were smaller. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Girl, because I'm buying for daycare, so shit. I'm like, oh, Lord, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine having to do that today, like a single mom with 3 growing boys, or, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, especially from the time they go from middle school to high school, because I know my brother just eat my mama out of house and home, and all their friends come over and eat.
Too. Like, shit, they ain't the only ones eating. I eat my ass off too.
Yeah. I remember being in school and just frying everybody T-bone steaks and shit. It's in the freezer, so we about to eat these today. My mama come home like, what did you do? Girl, yes. We done ate up everything, but yeah. But things is high now, and I'm like, shoot.
Right, look, we used to have steak a lot too. Now it's back to being a treat.
I said, ain't nobody have to worry about being fat come the next couple of months, and we still be on the shutdown, honey. You ain't got to worry about it. You're going to lose some weight for real.
Okay.
Shit.
Okay.
I said, because money about to be tight and inflation is going up.
Okay. I never stopped cooking beans, but we about to probably cook them a little more.
Oh my goodness, it's sad. It's sad, and I do feel sorry for people who really need those services.
Like I said in the first place, the only thing for us is we know what to do. It's the rest of you motherfuckers that don't know how to survive.
Exactly.
That's it. We know what to do when it get like I said, hell, I never took beans off my menu because that was always something good and filling. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Beans, rice, and potatoes.
Like shoot, we know what to do to make something stretch. To you know what I mean? Like just to make it through some hard times. So. Shit, good luck to the rest of y'all.
Yeah, because honey, look, everybody complained about the cost of eggs.
Girl, ain't heard shit about them eggs.
Not a damn thing.
Take these eggs that's in my refrigerator and throw them in somebody's house.
Yes, cost of eggs.
Because I asked my manager that because I wanted to know. And the reason why I wanted to know was because I always had this mind frame that was just like, no matter what was happening, I'm like, I got what I got. You know what I mean? So, like, my mom was always good at asking me about the gas prices because she in Chicago. So she always kind of say, well, what the gas is out there? Because, gas is generally cheaper in Indiana. And a lot of times, especially there had been a time where it got all the way up to like $4, close to $5. And that, for sure, I could notice, right? Like, it didn't. But most of the time, I generally didn't pay a lot of attention to what the price was. And that's what I told her. I said, well, I'm either filling up or, whatever I got to put in the tank is what I got to put in the tank. The price of gas doesn't change it. You know what I'm saying? Now, maybe it changed where I'm going, like if I can fill up or not. But if I got $50 to go in the tank, then $50 going in the tank. If I got 20, then 20 going in the tank, and it's getting me whatever it's getting me is what it's getting me. I think my mind frame was like, I'm not letting you tell me how much money I have to spend, Mm-hmm. So I felt the same way about like some of the groceries. So with that being said, when everybody was kind of saying this stuff about the egg, I felt oblivious because I'm thinking, and I buy eggs. Now, I don't buy eggs every single time I go grocery shopping because a couple of the kids don't eat eggs. Me and Jordan were primarily the ones that eat eggs. And it's not every single day, like an 18. And it can last for a little bit. Either way, my point is, and even when I went to the store to get my groceries and eggs was a part of it, it was never so high that made me think, oh, those cost that much? You know what I'm saying? It was
girl, I seen it come.
You get them or you're not. You know what I'm like? What the fuck?
I didn't. I wasn't paying $7 for them.
Okay, I don't remember them costing $7 for me, but if they did, I paid it. If that's what I wanted, you know what I'm saying? But I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the guys I'm in truth.
Because I would,
so that's my. But I agree with you. If you felt like they are, that's my point. Like you either go get them or you're not.
Yeah.
I think the only one that would harm would be like a bakery or what I'm saying, somebody who has to have them because that's part of their business. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's what they pump out. But we talking about us at home that go back to what I'm saying about we know how to survive. Yeah, I
said I'm not fixing these.
Take that shit off the list, or if you buy them, you only gonna use them. You know what I'm saying? I'm
cooking it for me, not for daycare, because I was cooking it for daycare. Oh hell no, not for the throw it away. Right. No, we about to do something else. The ones you pour out in the carton. Yeah, I said, oh no, we gonna just skip that all together because we is not.
Didn't they have eggs, like powdered eggs or something, girl? Let me.
Egg beaters and all that. No, we ain't doing no eggs. Period. Forget that. Mm-hmm. We doing all the cheap stuff because they don't do nothing but throw it away.
Yeah, but I hear that.
My mom said, I've never seen so many people, so many kids waste so much food. I'm like, some mom was, you gonna keep this? No, throw it away. No, because she said you don't want to wrap it up and they eat it later. These ain't my kids.
Right.
They don't eat the stuff. All they want is chicken nuggets and French fries. That's it. And not real chicken. They want whatever that stuff is at McDonald's. So no, I'm gonna fix whatever I fix. They don't eat it, throw it away. Yes, but girl, let me go. I gotta twist my hair up and get ready for this funeral tomorrow.
All right, honey.
All righty.
Well, we'll be back Monday at 8:30.
That's fine.
Or
9. 8:45.
Okay, 8:45.
All righty then. Okay.
All right, darling. Have a good evening.
You too.
Have a good weekend.
All righty. Talk to you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.